Welcome to Module 1.1 My Brief Story. This is where our journey begins, understanding what it truly means to last longer, to feel grounded in our body, and to show up with presence instead of pressure. Before we start, let's settle in. Let's reconnect. So take a deep breath with me. Inhale and exhale and smile. Now, I want to share a bit about who I am and why I teach this. Because for me, this isn't just a theory, this isn't some abstract concept, this is a lived experience. This is the path I actually walked, sometimes with confidence, sometimes with confusion, and sometimes with a full identity crisis. You know how it is. All men have a character development phase when it comes to sex. I grew up in India in a culture where sex was basically an encrypted topic filled with cultural taboo and shame. No open conversations, no guidance, no honest education. Like many men, I learned about sex from three sources: friends, porn, and absolute nonsense assumptions. Now, let's be honest, learning from teenage friends is like learning finance from your broke cousin who keeps saying, "Bro, crypto is life." You know, it's not going to it's not going to end well. And yes, at that age, all that knowledge felt fun, felt exciting. You feel like you're part of some secret club. But years later, when I actually start connecting with women at a deeper level, when I actually start connecting with women at a deeper level, when I started having real intimacy instead of performance based encounters, I realized how terrible. But years later, when I actually started connecting with women at a deeper level, when I started having real intimacy instead of performance based encounters, I realized how terrible that early learning was. Raise your hand if you ever believe something your friend told you that turned out to be complete rubbish. Exactly, we've all been there. I didn't have a mentor, I didn't have a guidance, and I carried a lot of insecurity into my early experiences, especially when I moved to the UK for my master's degree. Suddenly, I was in a complete different environment: new people, new dating culture, new expectations. I felt like I was competing with white and African men. And yes, the stereotypes. Suddenly, I was in a completely different environment: new people, new dating culture, new expectations. I felt like I was competing with white and uh, Suddenly, I was in a completely different environment: new people, new dating culture, new expectations. I felt like I was competing with white and African men. And yes, the stereotype crosses every man's mind at some point. They are bigger, so they must be better. Nobody says it out loud, but the thought hits you like a surprise exam. Completely unnecessary, but suddenly very stressful. That's exactly was the case with me too. Oops, done. Okay.